What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some more Bengals franchise, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you at it. Now, let's get into this video. All right, we got the 2019-2020 San Francisco 49ers team preview, man. It's time for that team preview, man. Of course, last year in 2018, of course, it was an underwhelming year. Jimmy G, the guy that they signed to a huge contract the offseason before, got injured in the first 3 games, torn his ACL. Nick Mullins came in, or CJ Rather actually came in first, I believe. Didn't have the brightest performance. Nick Mullins came in, actually played pretty well. But, team overall, it was a pretty disappointing year due to a lot of injuries. Just not Jimmy G, Jared McKinnon, a few of the other spots on the team. And it was a shaky year. But this year, they're coming in fully healthy. Add a few people on both sides of the ball. And it's looking pretty promising. Let's speak on it. And, we got to speak about Kyle Shanahan first. Of course, the head coach of the team. We already know about Kyle Shanahan. I mean, he was the Falcons' mastermind in 2016. We know that he can scheme plays wide open, right? We know that he's an offensive genius, right? We all talk about Sean McVay, Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, Sean Payton as offensive masterminds. Well, we gotta speak about, Kyle Shanahan. He's up there with the best of them, So, he's an offensive mastermind. So, really nothing much to speak about. We know what he's about on the offensive side. Jimmy G, starting quarterback. He's coming in fully healthy. That's good to hear if you're a 49ers fan. And just as a football fan overall. We already know that 2017 year when he got traded to the 49ers, he came in and he showed that he was a winner. It was a small sample size, but he brought something to the city of San Francisco that they haven't had in a while. So he's definitely a winning quarterback. Personally, I think he marks down all the stripes. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Brady. Honestly, I don't want to be, blasphemous. I'm not saying he's going to be Brady. I mean, he reminds me of a Brady or Tony Romo, just the style of how he plays, how he can read the defense. He's a very smart quarterback, right? I mean, he has everything that you want. So I'm expecting Jimmy G to come out and have his best season, honestly. Now, the big thing is, can he stay healthy, right? Last year before he got injured, he was playing pretty solid. Nothing too spectacular, but, I mean, he wasn't sticking at the joint. But I think Jimmy G is a really good quarterback when healthy. Just need to see if he can stay healthy. When it comes to the, I should speak about Nick Mullins also. What they going to do with Nick Mullins? Do they decide to trade him? Or do they decide to keep him? I don't know. I think that's going to play a big part of Jimmy G's health. Jimmy G is healthy. You might be able to get some out of Nick Mullins because, I mean, he showed a lot of promise last year in a few of the games that he played in. So we'll see what they do with that. On to the running back position. Jared McKinnon, he's back. That was another big injury. Remember, he didn't even play any games last year. I think he got injured preseason. Never played one snap. But he's back. And, we know that he's a really good receiving back. He showed that in Minnesota. And I think he's going to do the same over here. And the big thing, another big running back that they brought in is Tevin Coleman, man. Of course, he was part of that 2016 Kyle Shanahan offense in Atlanta. And we know that he's going to fit in right in, man. He's a big playmaker. He can hit the home run plate. He, of course, can catch the ball out the backfield. I think he's an underrated runner. I think he can run at times. Can he run between the tackles? We'll have to see. But honestly, since Kyle Shanahan likes to run the outside zone so much, we're hardly going to see any running backs run between the tackles, honestly, right? So, I mean, it's gonna be real interesting, man. You still got Matt Breida there. Rasheem Monster, that injury was ugly last year. he was playing pretty good before the injury. So if he could somehow come back from that horrific injury, maybe he can get some stumps on the field. But I'm really liking the running back position. I feel like Tevin Coleman and Jerry McKinnon kind of do the same thing. I think Tevin Coleman's a slightly more skilled running back. This is a pure runner, but they both kind of do the same thing. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out, because we know in 2016 with the Falcons, they both ran their 2 running back system also with Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. Now, Devontae Freeman, he was the number 1 running back, but Tevin Coleman would get some snaps also. And Devontae Freeman, of course, will run between the tackles most of the time. You know, he also catch the ball at the backfield a few, but you know, usually that was Tevin Coleman's thing, to catch the ball at the backfield, hit the home run plays. So maybe it's kind of switched up, where they had Jerry McKinnon catching the ball at the backfield and let Tevin Coleman run as a pure runner a little bit more. So we'll see how that plays out. On to the wide receiver position. I can't front. This wide receiver position might be the one of the most underrated throughout the entire league. I mean, you got Jordan Matthews, who I always like. He played for the Eagles last year. I think he's solid, big body receiver. I kind of like his game. Dante Pettis, he's bound to have a breakout year. You know, he's shown some potential. I think he can really solidify this team as the number 1 receiver. Now, they did lose Pierre Garçon. Always been a big Pierre Garçon fan. So that kind of hurts, you know, of course, when it comes to that veteran leadership. But, you know, they have talent. You know, like I said, Dante Pettis, Jordan Matthews. They drafted Deebo Samuel to pretty much come in and be the slot receiver, at least for right now. I like his game. He's physical. So I like that draft. Marquise Goodwin, the deep threat. You know, didn't he win that 40-yard dash competition? I think he did. We already know he has breakout speed. You know, Jimmy G's going to be hitting him deep down the field, so that's going to be fun to see. They also got Jalen Hurd, who, you know, we personally, like I said, I don't watch college football, but right now I live in Nashville, Tennessee, so, I mean, he was big over here, of course. He grew up as a running back, switched to wide receiver, so that's going to be interesting how that plays out. They got Trent Taylor. So, I mean, they have a lot of depth, and it's going to be interesting, especially, they got, in my opinion, 5 solid receivers that they can throw out there. Now, in my opinion, could they go out there and bring back someone like a Michael Crabtree? Possibly. But they might like what they already have in-house. So, I mean, the wide receiver position, in my opinion, it looks pretty good. I can't front. It's unproven a bit. But I think Deebo Samuel is going to come in and make an impact from week 1. And I think Dante Pettis is going to have a breakout season. And Jordan Matthews already showed me that he can be a good possession receiver. And, of course, we got to speak about the tight end. That settles this whole entire receiving core anyway, is George Kittle, the tight end of the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, this dude's a monster. He's a beast. This dude has breakout speed. I mean, when have we seen a tight end so fast, right? This dude can jump. He's athletic. He can catch the ball. I mean, he was breaking records last year with Nick Mullins as his quarterback. Was breaking all type of receiving records. And you know what's the difference between him and most tight ends? George Kittle can actually block. George Kittle is not he's not a liability when it comes to the blocking game. He can actually go down and block, and that's what I like about his game. It's one of the most underrated parts of his game is he's a willing blocker, and that's what you have to love, especially when you got running backs like Tevin Coleman and Jerry McKinnon. So, I mean, George Kittle is one of the best tight ends in the game. He's just going to, I mean, having George Kittle as your tight end makes it easier for all the wide receivers. So, overall, I'm not really concerned when it comes to the receiving game, man. I'm really not. I expect George Kittle to have, fantasy football users. He's going to have another breakout season. I'm not going to say another breakout season, another great season. Another great season, man. In my opinion, easily top 5 tight end. See, look, I'm already getting to rankings. I'm not trying to talk about rankings because there's going to be a video soon coming out about all my position rankings. But we already know George Kittle's legit. From the offensive line, it's led by Joe Staley. Always been a big Joe Staley fan. I love how he can, probably one of the best run blockers in the game. He can also pass block a bit. I mean, Joe Staley is what you want. He's, of course, a starting left tackle of this team. Yeah. Overall, though, this offensive line is pretty solid. There's a few names on here that can play. But, starting center right now, Weston Richburg, he's on the PUP list. So that's going to be interesting what they do when it comes to the center position. But overall, the offensive line is pretty solid. Hopefully they can just hold up. And, when you led by Joe Staley, someone who's been with the 49ers his whole entire career, he's going to lead this offensive line into the right direction. So, I mean, speaking about the offense overall, plus they got the best fullback in the game, baby. They got the best fullback in the game. So, I mean, overall, this offense, in my opinion, it's gonna be great to see. It's gonna be really good to see this offense. I mean, this score in so many different ways, right? And of course, you got Kyle Shanahan, the offensive mastermind. So, all the talent that I name on this offense, you got offensive masterminds on scheme open plays for easy touchdowns. So this offense is going to put up points, man. They're going to put up a lot of points. So I'm liking it on the offensive side. On to the defense, man. And of course, we got to speak about this defensive line, man. This defensive line is for real, man. It's for real. And of course, we got to speak about Nick Bosa, who they drafted, where I believe the third overall pick in the draft. And we already know Nick Bosa. He's one of the most NFL-ready players out the draft. He's a pass rusher, just like his brother. That his brother, and he's a beast himself when it comes to pass rushing. So I expect Nick Bosa to be the same. I mean, a lot of people say that Nick Bosa is going to be better than Joey Bosa. We'll have to see, man, because we know Joey Bosa is a beast in his own self. So Nick Bosa, man, he's going to come in. He's going to make a day one impact. You got D. Jones as a left defensive tackle, but a right defensive tackle, you got DeForest Buckner, man. DeForest Buckner. We already know that he's another lethal pass rusher, and he's proven that. He's proven that the past 2 seasons. So expect him to have an even greater third season when it comes to rushing and passing. Then they traded for D. Ford. We already know what he did in Kansas City. Now, I said a few things when I did my top 100 list, and and when I spoke about him, I said this dude is a world-class pass rusher. He's an undersized linebacker, but he can attack the passer. Now, as a run stopper, it is what it is, but I mean, this dude is going to be attacking the passer, no doubt. And, I could see him creating a few turnovers. So, as long as he doesn't jump off sides, I think he should be all right. I had to throw it in there. Chiefs fans. But, D Ford, we know that he's a lethal pass rusher. Hopefully he can improve his run stopping a bit, but we'll see how that plays out. But this defensive line overall should no doubt be one of the top defensive lines. I'm not going to say it's going to be the Detroit Lions defensive line or the Eagles defensive line, but I mean, this defensive line is no joke. You still got Solomon Thomas, Armstead. I mean, you have a crew. On this defensive line, so they should be creating havoc all year. When it comes to his linebacking core, we already know Malcolm Smith. He's a veteran. We know what he's about, Seahawks fans, right? Kwan Alexander. They made a move for Kwan Alexander. We know the promise that he showed in Tampa Bay. He's now the middle linebacker for the 49ers. And you know what? He could show why he was drafted so high. a few years ago. I mean, Quan Alexander is somebody that a lot of people say has all the potential in the world to be really good, and I think he's shown a little bit of it last year in Tampa Bay. We'll see what the consistency is about, but with this defensive line being so good, maybe it makes it easier for him to be the middle linebacker. Fred Wagner, we'll have to see. But I mean, this linebacker core, I think it could possibly be solid. It could be solid. On to the secondary, something that I'm really excited about when it comes to this team. Richard Sherman. I mean, say what you want to say. You can say that he's washed, and that's a little touchy. That's a touchy topic for a Seahawks fan. Don't speak about Richard Sherman in a bad way. I might slap you. You know what I'm saying? But just to keep it real, we already know Richard Sherman. In my opinion, he's still a reliable top 10 corner. I mean, you can say that, like I said, you can say he's washed. You can say all that, but you gotta prove it. Interceptions doesn't prove anything. Now, I did see him get beat a few times, more than normal, right? So I'm not gonna say he's that still top tier cornerback, but he's still, in my opinion, a really good to damn near elite corner still. I mean, like I said, he did get beat by Diggs a few times. Did get beat in a few games, but besides that, he rarely gives up big plays. And you can say that he doesn't get enough interceptions. People aren't trying him. This interception thing when it comes to the cornerback can sometimes become overrated. Sometimes cornerbacks are getting interceptions is because they're giving up a lot of big plays, and quarterbacks like to test them. I'm not saying that for all people who are, are the top leaders when it comes to interceptions, but sometimes interceptions don't, show the true story, It doesn't show everything. So, sometimes that just shows that you're not giving them the big play. So, you still got to salute Richard Sherman for that. He's still that dude, in my opinion. Like I said, not a top 5 cornerback anymore, but should still be in contention for a top 10 corner. The safety position has a lot of, it has some promise over there. Adrian Colbert, Jakarshi Tart has some potential. We'll see what's good when it comes to that. What I really like about the secondary, that's going to take it to a new level, in my opinion, is Jason Verrett, man. And we know Jason Verrett, he's dealt with injuries the past few years. Of course, he missed all last season with a torn Achilles, right? And, or was that torn ACL? I think it was torn ACL, excuse me. And, injuries have played a big part of his career. But for you guys who never seen Jason Verrett play, when Jason Verrett is on the field, he's one of the best man corners in the whole entire NFL, man. Honestly, he really is. And, if you get in Jason Verrett healthy, right, going into the season, which I think he is. I think he is at the moment. If he's healthy going into the season, you're getting one of the best man corners with a top tier corner with Richard Sherman. That is scary in itself. Witherspoon has shown some promise. You got Jimmy Ward who's going to play the nickel. He's going to play the nickel, the slot cornerback. So, I mean, the fact that you can possibly have Richard Sherman on one side and Jason Verrett on the other is going to make it tough for opposing wide receivers to get open. I mean, who are you going to test? Because, like I said, Jason Verrett, one of the best man corners in the NFL. Do you really want to test him? Do you want to test Sherman? Like I said, you can say that he's not the same, but test Sherman on a daily basis and see what's good. So, I mean, this secondary, in my opinion, has potential to make so many plays, and especially with the defensive line that they have, teams are not going to have 4 or 5 seconds to throw the ball. I mean, it's going to be like that. So some quarterbacks going to get rushed, going to panic, force a lot of throws, and there's going to be opportunity to make big plays when it comes to the 49ers secondary. So we'll see if they can capitalize on that. But We spoke about the offense. Spoke about the defense. And now it's time to rank the team, man. And we know, of course, last year and the year before, I mean, look, the 49ers, ever since 2014, they fell off, man. They're, during that Colin Kaepernick era, they were contenders, even a few years when they had Alex Smith. Remember that 2011 year where they nearly made it all the way to the Super Bowl? They were contenders. And I'm expecting the 49ers to be really good, man. I got to put them in tier 2. I'm expecting this to be the best 49ers football year since 2014. I really am. This team on both sides of the ball is going to create havoc, man. Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds. Jimmy Garoppolo, we know that he's a winner, right? You got two good running backs. This wide receiver position has depth, have young guys who can come in and make an impact. Greg Kittle, possibly the best tight end in the NFL. The offensive line is solid. Defensive line, it's going to create havoc, man. Possibly a top 5 defensive line in the NFL, right? The secondary is going to have opportunities to make big plays, man. I have to put them in tier 2. And look, my Seahawks fans, you know that we don't really like the 49ers, but you know what it is. I got to keep it objective, man. The 49ers are looking good, and in my opinion, they're a contenders going into this year. I really can't say slept on team because, look, last year at the same time, they were picked as the breakout team last year. Now it feels that, I'm not going to say everybody, but it feels like they're not getting the same respect that they had going into last season. So, I'm expecting the 49ers to, have the results that they were supposed to have last year, according to most people, right? And this team is talented, man. They really are. So, 49ers Nation, expect great football, man. I think 49ers football is back. And, it's a different era, man. It's a Jimmy Garoppolo era. It's a Nick Bosa era. It's a Deebo Samuel era, right? It's the Kyle Shanahan era, man. And it's going to be really exciting, man. It's going to be really exciting. But that's just my spill on everything. 49ers fans, do you agree? Do you guys feel that y'all are a really good tier 2 team? Do you guys feel that y'all not so good? Do you guys feel that I'm overrating y'all? Do you guys feel that Jimmy Garoppolo can stay healthy for a full 16-game season? Tell me how you guys feel, but that's pretty much it, man. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some more Bengals franchise, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. I'm the Phenomenal One, and I'm out. Deuces.